foolish husband had already returned to normal long ago, but his wife had no idea. She was even planning to team up with her lover Jack to take over the man's company together. As soon as they arrived at the office, they were stopped by the butler and his men. The woman was furious and wanted to teach the man a lesson, but no matter how she threatened them, the bodyguards refused to back down. Jack advised the butler to recognize the situation and stop standing in their way. Little did they know, just a second later, Jack's father suddenly received the news that all their business partners had canceled their contracts. Jack's company's stock price plummeted instantly. It turned out that all of this was part of the man's plan. The man had once been a top business genius. In just a few short years, he built a business empire worth tens of billions of dollars. Unfortunately, 6 years ago, while trying to save a drowning girl, he suffered brain damage and became mentally impaired. After the man lost his intelligence, his wicked wife not only cheated on him with Jack, but also plotted to poison his father. One day, while the woman and Jack were being intimate, the man suddenly ran in. Seeing him ruin their mood, the woman immediately wanted to punish him. Jack urged her to calm down. After all, the company shares still belonged to the man. Their plan wasn't complete yet, so the woman had to let him go. But as soon as the butler pulled him out, the woman handed him a share transfer agreement and demanded that he sign it. Seeing the familiar handwriting, the man remembered his father's dying words. Although he didn't understand why, he stubbornly refused to sign. Unexpectedly, Jack and the woman didn't care what he thought. They forced him to stamp his fingerprint. After getting the document, the woman slapped him across the face and walked away triumphantly. Little did she know, the man's head had just been hit, and after a wave of pain, his intelligence miraculously returned. He finally remembered everything. Seeing the man back to normal, the butler was overjoyed. The man calmed him down and swore to take back everything that belonged to him. He immediately ordered the butler to freeze the agreement and shared his plan with him. But just then, his wife's brother, Smith, arrived and demanded $50 million from him. He wanted to buy a top luxury sports car. To avoid exposing himself, the man pretended to still be dumb and agreed to Smith's ridiculous demand. Smith mocked him for being a useless fool who didn't deserve so much money. After receiving the check, Smith left with satisfaction. The next second, the man told the butler to contact the bank and cancel the check. Not long after, the woman, Jack, and their group arrived at the company to question why the agreement had been frozen. Seeing the man playing with toys, the woman thought he was still the fool he used to be. Little did she know, the man had not only frozen the agreement, but had also secretly sent people to strike at Jack's company. Soon, Jack received the news. To help Jack, the woman promised him that once she completely removed the man from power and became the chairwoman, she would immediately start cooperating with Jack's company. Hearing their conversation, the man immediately began laying out a new plan. When Jack saw him, he mocked him for playing with his phone. The man instantly switched back to his foolish act and said he was checking stocks. Jack and the woman both laughed at him, saying that with his level of intelligence, he probably couldn't even understand the stock market. But when they looked for themselves, they were shocked to find that the stock he mentioned was skyrocketing. It had multiplied dozens of times in just a few minutes. The woman was deeply puzzled, not understanding how he had picked that stock. But the man had been following that stock 6 years ago. He had studied it long before. With his current insight, he knew it had great potential. Jack insisted that the man was just lucky. Besides, the man hadn't even invested in it. To save his company's stock, he advised his father to buy back large amounts of their shares. As long as the woman worked with them later, they could still make a huge profit from it. Little did they know, they were about to pay a heavy price. To become chairwoman as soon as possible, the woman called a meeting of the board members. After years of influence, most of them had already turned to support her. However, the man refused to give up his position as chairman. He secretly instructed the butler to identify the traitors among them before revealing everything. To kick the man out of the company, the woman held a formal board meeting. According to the vote, the man was about to be dismissed. However, the man declared that he had veto power. No matter what, he would remain the chairman of the company. The woman hadn't expected that the man would even know about veto power. Furious, she wanted to teach him a lesson right there. The board members who supported her also threatened the man that if he refused, they would sell off their shares in the company. The woman thought the man would be forced to step down, but unexpectedly, the butler announced that he would buy out all their shares. The woman thought he was joking. Over the years, she knew exactly how much wealth the man had. There was no way he could afford to buy them. To her surprise, the butler produced the very stock and ordered his men to prepare a transfer agreement. The woman never expected that the man had secretly bought that stock behind her back. Jack comforted her, saying that even if the man had gained those shares, with his level of intelligence, she could still control all those assets however she wanted. The woman then notified the company's management, intending to use this moment to assert her authority and to to eliminate all the managers still loyal to the man. Soon, 8 senior executives stood behind the woman, while only 2 remained behind the man. The woman thought she was about to fully take control of the company. However, once the stock transfer was completed, the man decided to stop pretending. Under everyone's shocked gaze, the man revealed his true self once again.